Hey there. So if you've been following along with us, I'm creating a diary of my training with Freya so that I'll be able to look back on the hard days more than anything and just see how far we've come. Um, and in the previous videos that you've seen, I've worked on lateral flexion and disengaging the hind end, and she's pretty good at it. We have our hiccups where when I laterally flex her, she might disengage instead of just turning her head. So we're still working through that, but I'm going ahead on and going to start working on bending to a stop. Um, this is where I think the hole has come in with what I've done with her so far, because we progressed past this and we had been walking and trotting a lot. And then, as I mentioned in a previous video, that I had started taking her to do some lessons with a local trainer, and when we would pick up speed to trot, her anxiety would just get really bad. So her trot would be too fast, and then it might slow down, and it'd be fast again, and she just wasn't consistent, and that's what I'm looking for. And when we would work on trying to slow her down, the biggest problem was that anything we did would cause more anxiety for her. And so I think going back to this and bending to a stop is what's going to be needed to really get the consistent forward motion from her, impulsion, depending on who you're listening to. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and jump right in, and we're just going to start back with the basics. I've already actually warmed her up a little bit and done some lateral flexion. I have not disengaged her, so let's just walk through exactly what I would do, and then we'll get to the bending to a stop. So first thing first, let's work on the lateral flexion. I'm going to ask her turn her head to the side. That's all I want, but as you see, she's moving, so I'm just holding it until she stands still. I'll give her that. So we're still just working on, when I pick up on the reins, doesn't mean you need to turn, doesn't mean move your body. It just means I want your head to come in. And actually, I really like how when I pick up on the reins, her head is coming down and around. She tends to want to keep her head high, so getting her to bring it down and around like that is really what I'm looking for. I'd like to, when we pick up speed, see her head stay down more. So, and I am working on to, when I laterally flex her, I want her to bring her head around and stop probably right there. What I don't want is when I laterally flex her, and I was doing this in previous videos, and her head was starting to get twisted up. So like right there's great. That was perfect. I like that. But what I don't want is when I bring her head around and then her head starts to tilt and turn in. Like I don't want that. It's a little too much. It reminds me of like if a horse is behind the vertical. So what I don't want is that. What I do want is what you just saw. So we're going to do it one more time to the right. Perfect. Right there. No feet are moving. We're going to do it one more time to the left. Perfect. Right there. So now I'm going to do it again to the right, and this time I'm going to ask her to disengage. So I'm going to put my foot back on, foot comes across, I released, I expect her to stand, and that's good. So I like that. I felt like that was a good one. So now I'm going to ask her to this side. Her feet are moving, so we're going to just stand still. Okay, let's not pull on the bit. And ask her to bend. She gives to me without moving. I like that, so I'm going to release this time. And then I'm going to ask again. And this time I'm going to ask for the disengage too. Foot back, foot crosses over, I release. Good. Perfect. Alright, so like I said, we've done that a few times. before starting the video. I feel like she's doing pretty good with it. So I'm going to go ahead, and today we're just going to walk around and work on the bend to stop at the walk. Walk. And so what I'm looking for with her is that her head's low or even, that she's got a slower pace, because when her anxiety picks up, she's going to go faster. And so when she starts to get a faster pace than what I want, like right here, I'm going to go ahead and just bend to a stop. So I'm going to pull her head around, and I'm going to wait for her to stop. She stopped. So that's what I wanted. Good girl. Walk. So again, I want her to keep her head down, even pace. When she gets to going too fast, then we'll bend around to a stop again. So here, take and bend around to a stop. Perfect. I like that. It's not a quick, abrupt stop. She's going doot, 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 doot. So that's what we're wanting there without me asking. So I'm going to bend her to a stop again. Good girl. Walk. So another thing that I'm really working on with her, because she is so smart, is I want her to only move when I ask. So really anything that we do needs to come from me asking, not her deciding we're doing it. So if we're standing still, then she needs to not move until I say you can walk forward. If we're walking forward, she needs to keep walking until I say stop. So that's what I'm looking for, or not looking for, but what I'm making sure I'm practicing at the same time too. And so today seems like a really good day, which I don't know, there could be so many things going on, which is, of course, what I'm trying to figure out too. Is her head down? Is she keeping a good pace? Um, stop here. Do, 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 do. Good girl. Is she keeping a good pace, keeping her head down and all? Because I've made a saddle change, and so I'm riding in a treeless saddle right now versus a treed saddle. Walk, walk. Or could it be something else? She just got adjusted by the chiropractor, so is she just feeling better? Walk. So again, today's a really good day. She's really responsive. She's doing what I'm asking. Right here, I think I'm just going to ask her to bend to a stop. She was starting to go a little too fast. Now she's going to disengage. Okay, now she's... So I'm waiting to see her relax. She's moving without me asking, so we're going to bend to a stop. And I'm expecting her to stand still until I ask her to move. All right, walk. All right, so let's bend to a stop here. Good girl. Girl. When she moves her legs. So just continuing to pull her back into the arena, which I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not. It's kind of micromanaging her basically. And I really don't want to do that, but I think at this point, since I don't have a fence, that's kind of where I'm at. So let's do it again. We're going to bend to a stop right here in the middle. And when I pick up on the rein and ask her to give and stop, I'm trying to do it extremely gentle. I'm not abruptly pulling down and yanking her head around or anything. So, and I like this. I like that I wanted her to bend to a stop. She did. She did it slowly, not abruptly. Now her head's down. She took a very small sigh right then. I felt it. So that's good. All right, now I'm going to ask her to walk. And so now we're walking again. And so if she starts to speed up, we'll move it again. And so like here, she's going to try and go out. She's speeding up. Well, guess what? Into a stop here too then. Okay. Nope. And now she wants to move again. So that was probably a little bit harder than I intended to do. I was trying to stop the forward motion, and I probably should have let her commit to it, kind of like that. And now I'm asking her to bend to a stop again and stand still. And she's really wanting to get out of the arena today. Out of the arena walk is relaxing walking. In the arena is work, so I'm guessing she's just trying to get out of it today for that reason.